Introduce yourselves.
Me? I'm Opa Fischer. I'm 91, I think.
I think
Yeah.
you are.
I come from Germany, Würzburg. I'm 9.
I'm Otto Fischer. I'm 86 years old. I'm from Gundersleben am Döbbach. Gundersleben is just outside from Würzburg. Well, I grew up during World War II. I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters. It was 7. I was the sixth, right? Sixth, number 6, and then my younger sister was the 7th child.
It was nice when I grew up in Würzburg, in the city, till I was, I think, 9 years old. Then we went to Frankfurt.
Bigger city.
That's when the war started, and that wasn't very nice. We couldn't go no place, but in Würzburg, I went to Münchschule, and I had a friend. Her father was the boss from Zeitung, I mean
Newspaper.
a newspaper, and we had to walk to school. It was about 20 minutes walk every day. Looking back, there was no bus or nothing. And from Münchschule, we went after 4th grade. We had to go to another school. The school I shouted when we were out there. I shouted to the school. I think where I went to, not far from where I lived. Till I was 9, yeah. Then we had to that was till the war was over.
Yeah, I remember school. It was two class in one classroom, right? 2. So we were like easy 50 kids in one classroom, because we were 27, 28. In my class were 18 girls and 9 boys.
Yeah, and I went with my grandpa with that into the garden, the home garden. Then, we used to go there when I
Just
was
say-
maybe 5, 6 years old.
Why did you
Then
say
later on we had friends came to our house. We played in the yard down there. We had a big golf, a big whatever. My grandfather took pictures. He was a photographer. And my opa, yeah. We drove other places with my 2 cousins. That's what we did on Sundays. And during the week I had friends over, played with them. And sometimes on holidays there were groups. We went through the city. There were girls and boys. That was not a good time. We went to the city and they played the music and we had to march there. Würzburg, oh no.
Our parents always said, help your neighbor as much as you can. So after school, when they came home, like neighbors come from the field with a hand wagon, they were loaded up. We always went out and made sure we lived on a big hill. To make sure it was too much for them to pull it up by themselves. All the kids, we went out to push the wagon up the hill. So we were very proud of it. And many times we would get an apple for it, and we were very thankful for it too. Well, when you were in school already, after then you had to do work at home, like help, whatever, like in the things. In the wintertime, you had to make sure firewood is inside for the night and the next day. And in the summertime, we used to go out in the field. My mother came from a farm family. Yeah, no, this during the war, but we had to go at night. Everybody in the family had to let somebody come along to go to the field, to the potato fields, and pick up the peels. They would eat the potatoes off. So you had to go out and pick these peels But everybody from a family had to go out, especially even the ones that had no fields. Yeah, because that helped everybody, you know. That anybody you had to go out and do that, yeah, during the war. So you went to the things and you kind of walked down the line between the bushes, and one person in each row, right? And then you look under the bushes and pick all the beetles. And if that was done like 2-3 times a week, you drop them off. Whoever did, British or American or whatever,
They would fly overhead and just
drop these beetles over the farms.
because they were trying to interrupt the food supply.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But potatoes were very important to us because that's all we ate. There was something made out of potatoes every day. We had the potatoes down the basement that people threw the next potatoes. It was a year's supply. We had like, how the heck I say it, 100-pound bags down there.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
You know, that was a big, I mean, this would be filled up with potatoes, this one.
Yeah.
And they still had, when I grew up, we still had 2 cows, and we raised pigs, we had chickens, we had rabbits, and we had to make sure like we had food for the rabbits. We would go out and go in the woods and collect grass and stuff to feed the rabbits. And the chickens, we would eat the chickens because we needed them to lay eggs. If you had more then you had to give them away. Like pigs, the same way, you only were allowed to raise 2 pigs. And then that's what you could take. And then after they reached about 200 pounds, then they got, what do you say, slaughtered, pork meat, and we had made sausage out of it. When you slaughtered one pig, the butcher would come to the house, 6 o'clock in the morning. The kettle with water had to be cooked like let's see, a kettle with at least 10 gallons of water had to be cooking, so the meat could have been cooked and then later on cut up and sausage made out. That was usually like in October, November, and that meat would have to last through the whole winter.
Brentford was a bad time because the war was, you know. And then we had to go to the basement. There was a time, every night, 12 o'clock, the siren went off.
So that's like,
We had to go to the baby couldn't go in our house, we had to go to the basement.
Right, for the shelter.
Yeah. That one time there was March 19, when was the war over?
45 was.
Yeah, that was in 45, just before in March. We went to the shelter. When we came home, the whole house was burning. It went from up down. My mother was in the hospital, and Dad took her someplace else. She had a problem. She had a poison on her arm. She worked in the post office and she got cut and had poison. I mean, blood loss. And she went. Then took it to Würzburg. That's what. When I came home, with the other people lived in the house. Everything. I had nothing in my. Just what I had on my back book, that's all what I had. Everything burned down. And all the stuff, we went to the basement later and looked, because my mother took the picture for my grandfather, he was a painter also, took it down the basement when the war was. And our clothes were down in the basement. And when the fire was pretty low down, and there was no danger anymore, they let you go in. And my mother came from Würzburg, and we went in, and everything you picked up fell apart. All the pictures what my grandfather painted, you know, nothing. Everything was good. I had only what I had on, and we got money from you. That was a bad time.
well, I didn't have a hard time with the English at all. I mean, like, the only thing I regretted that forever, that I didn't started to with how to write. Television, and I never went to. I tried in New York that time to go, and they were telling me, you know more than I forget how things to say. No, I was self-saying. I never learned anything in there. You didn't learn nothing. Maybe you would in time, you would have learned how to write. You would try to read everything. Like, almost uncle, he said, when you go on the bus, always try to read everything you see. Try to read this, try to read that. Then that's how somehow you heard people say it, and then I knew a little bit some because I was as a bartender out in Germany for over a year and listened to the American soldiers, what they were talking, and I started to understand what they're talking about, but I couldn't talk with them that good. Talk a little bit something with them, but you understood more than you were able to talk. But when I came over here, things got a lot faster to me. All of a sudden I was able to talk. I didn't went through all that trouble like some of them, just like my brother did. They wanted to go with Germans all the time. And to me, I was okay being with the guys who couldn't talk German, and you learn faster.
It was just the time, the money, I think that was, I mean, he had the money that's for my mother, from the bottom all the way up to the ceiling in the closet. He had the money. He lost all the money and he sold his house to his own daughter. And my uncle was in the bank. He knew that it goes,
The money goes, he knew the money goes bad. And he made sure he gets the house before. So he gave him all the money, and then the next day the money was bad.
And then the three uncles, the one who sued the sister, him, and my grandfather didn't do it. He said, that's my daughter, I won't do that.
When I got done with school, we went to 8th grade. After 8th grade, that's all the school there was there. Either you went on to high school, or in 14 you were in an age where you learned to trade. We did all the thing from everywhere, that year, everybody goes out of school, they went there, everybody got a job. That's like, I'm not going to do nothing. It didn't happen. So, I learned airplane mechanic. The first day you had a room, like the room where you stayed. I guess we were 6 in that one room. We had a big room, six boys in it. And Friday night, you were supposed to, we had to make our own beds and stuff, and your stuff had to be nice and clean. You did your washroom. When they come Friday nights, everything had to be clean. And that one week, but for the first couple of weeks, it must have been happening right away. Maybe the first week. And I said, that time was 2 brothers in the army already, and they told them, you did talk about how they clean the floor and things. And I said, what they do, we had hardwood floor, nice hardwood floor on concrete. And so, how to clean that floor? How do you clean the floor? And he had a bucket and stuff. I said, you know what? They say they take a bucket of water, throw it in, and then just take the rags and clean it up when you're done. Yeah, it worked that way, but all the water went underneath, and the next day, it popped up. When we came back Monday, that must have been like Saturday afternoon, and we went home. We did it in the morning, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was nice and clean, everything was good. Then we came Monday, we were already in trouble. Well, they knew already. They said, so they got us and said, looking in there, they opened the door, and it was like floor all over the place.
Oops.
So we got punished. We couldn't go home for a couple of weeks. But but there's nothing you could do about it. The floor had to be laid in, but the floor had to laid in. You know, we had to go in another room, but the floor was laid in again. And then right then we were told, don't use the bucket anymore like that. That was in 1944 I started. And I had 1 year in as airplane mechanic. You're supposed to learn for 4 years. But after 1 year, the war was over, and that was all over. So after that, after a while, after a couple of months, I was able to work, got to work in a newspaper printing machine factory. They made newspaper printing machines. They also made a machine with ink fire was printing. So I worked there 3-4 years, 4 working days, 1 day in grade school.
I had to go to 3 years more course, like you have high school here, and that was not the high school, but it was so what you could learn. It was 3 years, but only twice a week you had to go there. You worked on the side, you know. So I got a job then in the office. They made Volkswagen, right? But there was nothing in the office where I worked. It was not a factory, but we weren't just the office. We just had to get the house, you know.
When you worked in the office, where they made parts
Parts
for
for Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's where
It
I
was a
worked.
little factory.
And 2 times a week I went to school. And then when that was over, I worked completely every day there. And I was 18 years old, yeah, 17. Worked until until we got bombed out.
Then the war was over.
The war was over. They lost everything, the office and everything. Then I went to the country, went there for a couple of a year, I think, until the Americans came. That was it.
I had a chance to come here for a 6-month visit in 1952. And after that, I decided, since Germany lost the war, there was the opportunity for another great, be a better life here. I had a chance to come over here, and I decided to come over here for good. I had to go back after 6 months to Germany. I worked for the American Army for a couple of years, and I learned the language a little bit. And then I came back over in 1954, November 1954, with the fastest ship then, the United States of America. It took 4 days to get to New York from Hamburg to New York. Other ships would take 9 to 11 days. That ship now, I think it's down in Philadelphia, Delaware Avenue. I was on the ship over here 4 days. I was very good at ping pong and table tennis. And I had a chance to play with Alan, which is a movie star. He would come send somebody to my cabin and ask if I wanted to play again today. So we did that for 3 days. Till we arrived. Well, I won. I was good. I played table tennis out there in a team. And he wanted to beat me all the time, but had no success. I
That's
won
why.
against him all the time.
That's why I wanted to keep playing.
They wanted to play, learn from me, and one also wanted to have a chance to win, but it never happened. Well, he said he wanted to come back to beat me again, I guess. That was Richmond. Then they came here.
Then we came here, yeah. I cleaned houses, yeah, I went to
But the big houses,
German ladies.
German ladies, German friends, you know.
Yeah, then I worked for Bernie, who was a German guy
Hatboro.
in Hatboro.
Started
And
Hatboro.
then Hatboro, and then
restaurant in the thing was called
Cherry.
the Golden Cherry. Hatboro was the Hatboro Manor.
Oh, then I came to McNeil's. Betsy Kirschner, she worked there, and they asked for people, and she said my neighbor, needed a job, so I came over
Well,
there. I
that's-
worked for 10 years over there,
Yeah, it was
but only at
one time.
One time, and the temps they get laid off once in a while, but they're all let them work a little bit longer. So when the seniors is over, I even get some pension.
No
yeah.
pension, no nothing.
Yeah, but I did get some because I got
If you
longer,
work longer, you're only allowed to work so many hours a year.
and they're lucky for it.
And it just so happened you worked, and I said something one time, and that's when they looked it up, and then you got it.
The machine, the medicine went into a bottle, and then the bottle went through what you call a machine, and then the boxes came out, fill the bottles up, and at the end you have to pick them up into the new boxes. They're on the line, you watch on the line, every time, after every hour you go on another line. Just on the bottles, you have to put the bottles up, then the second was when the bottles came into the boxes, then they went into the machine, this was the third, then at the end they came out, you have to put the boxes and then outside. Really comfortable.
I had a job right when I came over in a place where they repaired bakery machinery, like the slicer in Staten Island. So I spent about 6 months in Staten Island, and then from there I went to Richmond, Virginia. That was a great place. They made printing cylinders for printing machines. From there, I worked about a year there. From there, I went to Philadelphia. They produced parts for cars. After a couple of years with Butts, I decided to become a carpenter. So I worked as a carpenter, and while I was working at Butts, I decided to build my own home. And when that was done, I kind of missed the call from them to go back to Butts. So I decided to stay in carpentry. And after 1 year, I joined the Carpenters Union, and that was in 1967, and I worked on union jobs in the Spectrum. When we built the Spectrum, then it was doing the penalty boxes, and when there came that was the ice hockey.
Yeah.
Ice hockey. What do you call them?
The flyers.
Flyers, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would stay at the games, and we showed them how to use the penalty boxes. I worked in the Franklin Institute. I worked in hospitals, but the big building was like I worked in banks, like putting stuff. When they get new buildings, the office furniture in, like anything had to be hanging doors. Hanging doors was one of my special business. I worked at Gilbert's.
Oh, Gimbals.
Gilbert's for 1 year. One acres, yeah.
Crystal tea room.
I bedroom furniture for 1 acre. Yeah. Try and get on your off time whenever possible, if you're allowed to. Get a little job to make some money on the side for yourself. So then this way you know how hard it is to earn that money. And try to save some all the time. You can spend some but save one.
Don't spend more than you make.
So start over. Say, I'm Margaret Fisher. I'm
Margaret
91.
Fischer. I'm 90.
Okay.
Right?
No,
You could do-
try again.
What do I say now?
When did you get married? Long time ago. What was it like? Quiet?